Welcome to Learn Golf with Cassie, 2022 here. Cassie unfortunately is not with me today, so I'm going to be doing a session working on the trajectory of my golf ball at launch. I'm going to be trying to hit some of my normal shots, which I want to try and find out if I'm in the right trajectory window. And then I'm also going to then try and play some of my low shots to see what trajectory window those are. I'm going to be using the Rapsodo today. I'm going to start with the pitching wedge, then I'll do the 8-iron and see how they rack up compared to the PGA launch angles. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so we're looking here at the TrackMan PGA Tour averages. Now, I'm not going to have the same kind of club speed as them, but we're going to be looking at the pitching wedge and the 8-iron. So pitching wedge there at 83 miles an hour. I'm going to be around the 75 most probably. And 8-iron 87 miles an hour. Ball speed 102, 115. The smash factor 1.23 and 1.32. That is something we can look at. But the ones that we're really interested are pitching wedge launch angle 24.2 degrees and 8-iron 18.1 degrees. We haven't got smash factor on our Rapsodo, but and I'm not too worried about where the carry distance is. But let's take a look at the Rapsodo data that I did in my session. Okay, so here's the Rapsodo session that I did. I started off with 5 shots with my regular pitching wedge swing. It's a pretty cold day today, as you can see from the data, and I was wearing a jacket, so it might be a little bit down on club head speed. But we're in the sort of 75 to 78 club head speed, which is, as you saw in the data on PGA, about 5 miles per hour slower than a PGA Pro. But for me, that's about where I sit. When I've got good smash factor, 1.26 means really getting in behind the ball. I had a carry of 124, 123, ball speed of like around 90 to 95. If we look along the far right, the launch angle is 26.3, 26.4, 26.9. I had a couple of slightly higher ones, 28.9 and 28, so they came off a little bit high. That is about 2 degrees higher than the PGA stats. I then tried to play my kind of lower shot, number 6 here, 6, 7 through to 9, which actually got me in toward the correct launch angle at 24.6, 25.1, 24.6, 22.8. So actually much closer to the launch angle. But as a consequence, as just a little bit lower on my distance, probably the bottom one was a poor strike, which was the first of the shots. I think I slipped on that one, but anyway, so around 122, probably about 117 to 120 would be about right, which is actually a little bit less, just 2 or 3 yards less than the slightly higher lofted ones from earlier. I always feel like I'm controlling the lower loft ones. It kind of feels like a knockdown shot to me, but that's probably where I should be at the launch angle. If you have a look at that in visual, so the purples are the pitching wedges, and the higher ones are really my first sort of stock shots, and the lower ones are my kind of stock punch lower trajectory shots, which are actually probably slightly closer to the window than my normal sort of shot. Okay, let's go back to look at the 8-iron then. So I did the same with the 8-iron. I hit some normal stock shots, 22, 22, 20, 22, 20. So around 21 to 22 launch angle, and club speed a little bit faster. Smash factor around 126, 25, 26, so a little bit lower than the pro smash factors. Ball speed picking up a little bit, obviously longer club. And probably, I wouldn't say I hit these all brilliantly, but around 142 to 45 was where they were coming in at. When I went to the lower, you can see I've dropped the angle from 21.9 down to 18, 19, 18, 20. And actually I struck these ones better. And so the smash factor is a little bit improved. Not much. But around, I lose about 5 yards in distance. But they were fairly consistent. You can see the club head speed about 82, 83. Let's actually have a look at a couple of the swings now. So 8 iron, 18 degrees. Okay, so let's look at a couple of the swings. You can see behind the data. Let's take the pitching wedge, my sort of standard pitching wedge. This one was the best strike, best smash factor. And it was pretty straight and pretty representative of what I expect. So you can now see the one where I've tried to get a lower trajectory. Let's take this one, that's pretty representative again. And the sawn off finish. I feel like I'm trying to keep the hands low through the impact and stay really over it. And it's a little bit less distance, about 5 yards less, and when I'm playing that shot I do expect 5 yards less. So those two are representative of my actual shot making on the actual course. Let's take a look at this one of the 8 iron. This is my first one with an 8 iron. And again, pretty representative. Launch angle, as we said, was about 4 degrees higher than we would want. If we go into the ones where I was trying to get a lower trajectory, which actually is the trajectory window that we would have with a PGA professional. 19.3 degrees. That's again the slightly shorn off one, and it's basically hit like a straight bullet. And again, it's a couple of yards shorter on average. So I kind of play that shot as if it's 5 yards shorter. So I hope that was interesting for you. Thank you very much for watching Learn Golf with Cassie, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.